Good evening, captains. It's Saturday night and time for the P1 Fleet Stream. It's time for the P1. Time for the season 11.5 Tribble crash test. So
Whoop, whoop.
that means we have the hosts of the P1 podcast in the booth with us tonight.
Hey!
Hey!
Yeah, thanks for joining us on this wonderful night. It's all late for you people in the overseas.
Oh, well, it's Saturday night, so it's good. Thanks for having us on.
Channel timed out.
Oh no, we lost a winter.
No.
Again.
He'll be back.
Honestly.
Yeah, so tonight we'll be going over pretty much the release candidate for season 11.5 and how to weather this coming skillpocalypse.
Skillpocalypse!
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. Oh, as SFC is holding the new model for the TR116. They really...
Isn't it a beaut?
Oh yeah. One of the other little changes they're coming out with that totally flew under the radar.
Screenshotted.
Yep.
What, they've just updated the model?
Yeah, they updated the model to the on-screen
Ah.
version from the show.
See, I thought it was going to be like an actual new version of it.
No,
that was coming
they-
out, but,
No.
that's exciting. So if we already have one, it'll
Pre-
just look new now.
Yes, Phoenix, we're on Tribble tonight. We're going to help people prepare and get ready for the coming skill change. One of the big
Just
things.
call it Skillpocalypse again.
Dun, dun, dun.
just that's what it is.
It is. It's a revelation.
Yeah.
Going by the original meaning of the term apocalypse.
I like Mark's sound effects in the background.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot I had skill point bundles to claim.
Wait, Lance, say it again.
Skillpocalypse.
Oh, we didn't say it this time.
I thought I did.
No, Mark.
Oh,
follow up.
mine! I thought you meant like the end game one, so sorry. Dun dun dun.
There we
Oh my
go.
god. Do you know? Have you ever seen the Croods? Is it the Croods?
The
With the
Crows.
no, with the sloth and he.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that's
belt.
yeah, yeah.
Belt.
The CG movie DreamWorks
Yeah,
put
yeah.
out a few years ago.
Yeah.
The
There's
one
a
that with the
sloth in
caveman.
it
Ah,
who always goes dun dun dun.
That will be me tonight.
yep. Yes, yeah. One of the yeah. From respecing, you're going to. Oh yes, we're getting kind of ahead of ourselves again. Yeah, we're gonna go quick over some news we've found out. We've got the upcoming calendar for the next month. We've got a dilithium and upgrade weekend coming in the last 2 weeks of April. Next month we've got Hearts and Minds, as it's a Friday the 13th coming in May. So you get to go get yourselves a crazy Vulcan duty officer. And then we have a crystalline cataclysm. We all know how many people are going to be going nuts for that after the breach. Hey, Talon. But yeah, that looks like what's the Stone news for the coming couple months. Probably after the crystalline cataclysm, we'll have our summer event and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much the news we found.
You guys are like a step ahead of us
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
actual podcast.
Yeah.
Bit embarrassing.
We're
That's cool.
Just a tad.
Nah.
Well, it's just the way our timing is.
Where are you guys? Deep Space Nine. I'm finally in. I've been
Yeah.
patching for like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, to be fair, we have a couple days after the patches and everything to sort everything out, and you guys have a few hours. It's really not fair. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Not fair.
You guys are like the nightly newscast. We're the breaking news team.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Good,
live on the scene.
It's a good division of labor.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Yeah, we're out in the trenches getting getting the our phaser rifle phaser shots going overhead.
Pew pew.
Oh my god. Right. New character. I have no buffs. Where are my buffs?
They all took a break.
Yeah, Kennen's buffless.
Yeah, and your power trays are all goofed
Oh,
up.
God, they're a mess.
This is
Oh,
why
I
I
forgot
came
about
in
this.
much earlier
Kelly
today.
Aura.
Yep. Hi, Kelly.
Here she comes.
I was
Yeah.
right behind her. Ah. Hi, guys.
Oh, and
Yes.
I
Nice
see
to meet
Kenny
you,
right
Kenna.
behind not Kenny.
Kenna number
sorry.
1.
Kenna won.
Kenna 1. I'm Mark.
I don't know why it trades. Yeah.
Well, it
Oh,
it
Mark
puts
6.
the number because it's that version of that game.
I gotcha.
I am a loyal to the Borg after all. I'm Mark 606.
Yes, yes, you are.
Alright, I gotta do some maintenance on my old person here.
Yep.
Okay, wrong emote there. There we go.
Yep. Yeah, we're hanging out, just getting ready to go neck deep in the old into this new system. So yeah, I've been like I said, Orange and I have been neck deep in this system since it came out. What, end of February or mid-February? It was like shortly after winter event cleared.
Wow, so you guys are the experts, is what I'm hearing.
Well, not the experts, but we've
Near enough.
yeah, I've been following every Bort post, every
We're familiar with it.
yeah, familiar enough to share our experiences. Yeah, one of the things we've learned is always check your traits after finishing your respec, because
Yeah.
it will clear your personal traits and your starship traits. So
Oh, I better go do that right now then.
yes,
Yeah.
always
Oh, yeah.
make sure those are there.
The more you know.
Yes, like I said, we want tips, tricks, so no one is going in to the system completely blind.
Have they redone the traits?
No,
'Cause
I don't.
Some of these look new.
Yes, they've put some new traits in. I think at the start of
Months ago.
season 11,
Yeah, yeah.
when they split the ground and space traits.
This is how much attention I actually pay to it sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah, shove it in, it looks good.
No, I think it was before that, because it wasn't the same time as when Admiralty came out, and Admiralty came out in season 11.
yeah. I think it was when they split the space and ground, but oh well, we could be
Might
wrong.
have been 10.5, maybe?
I don't know. It's been a while.
It has, yeah.
Yeah, always after respec it will clear your traits, so put those back in so you don't go into a into like an alert and suddenly find yourself, hey, why am I doing less damage than I'm used to? Oh, that's right, I have no traits installed. Very embarrassing.
Oh,
Not
and
that I
Hunter
have been
brung
having
his
problems.
7th clone. Hi, Hunter.
Hello.
Hey, Foxman. But yeah. 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 I'll go through the quick, do a respec on this character since I have like a billion of them. So we all go kind of in the same step. Yeah, I've got like 6 retrains and I'm just gonna pop one. Bam! Cleared up. Alright, so who's first in the queue for their first run through of the new skills?
I'll go.
Okay.
I can't test them out just yet because I need to sort out all my trays and stuff. But
Yep.
I have a completely naked skill tree.
Yep.
Right. It's completely naked. Oh my. Okay.
Yes.
So
Scandalous.
here's
scandal.
where do we start? This is where, I mean, because I played around with it on my new character. You know, when the new skill tree first came out on Tribble, I made a new character and then, you know, shamefully abused the console and Drazana, and I did actually fill out a skill tree. I haven't got a clue what I did,
Okay.
and I didn't actually play with it very much. So I'm kind of like, where do I start?
All right. This is basically you have your different levels. You have
Right.
your lieutenant level, your commander level. Each level unlocks after 5 points spent.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if you can spend all of your points in the lieutenant block, and it'll continue unlocking skills further down the tree. It's based on the total amount of skill points you spend, not the 5 points in commander, lieutenant commander, and whatnot.
Okay. So basically, I need to spend at least 5 in order to get to the second block,
Yes,
and then I need to spend 5
just
there.
like in
Da, da, da.
just like in the specialization systems.
And then beyond that, because there's how many? There's 46 space points in total. So
Correct.
once I've unlocked my 35, so that's
Then you get-
unlocking all the tiers, and then I have another 11 to spend wherever,
Yes,
basically. Okay.
yes. But you can spend them all everywhere. It's just the 31st 35 will just unlock your steps as you go
Okay,
up.
so I could theoretically pile however many all into the lieutenant abilities if I wanted
Lieutenant
to.
command, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many that is, but 6, 12, 18, and however many is the next one. So I'm not great at like really fast mental maths.
Yes.
Okay. So where should I start? So my sort of
Your
play
attack.
style. Sorry.
You're a tactical captain, correct?
Yeah, I'm a tactical captain. I fly cruisers. So in terms of, I would say probably my instinct is I don't use any projectiles, so I'm not going to bother with that.
Correct,
I'll
yep.
use all energy weapons.
Yep, so that first group of tactical, the energy weapon training, would probably be your place to go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy all 3 of those because I have a feeling I'll want them.
Yep, but remember, when you hover your tooltip over, it'll tell you exactly how much benefit you're getting out of each skill.
Oh, I see, and it decreases as you go up, basically.
Yes. So getting the first one will give you a 25% boost.
Right.
Going to level 2 will give you a 42% boost to your damage.
Okay.
But when you get taking 3, it goes from like 42 to 50. That's only like 8 points.
Yeah, it's not huge, so I
You
might
can make
leave
up
one.
that you can make that damage up via consoles, via skills, other places.
Okay. Right, so I'm gonna put in 2 in there just for now.
Yep. If we
Actually, I
and-
think it's 50, 35, 15.
Yeah, but in
think-
terms of the damage percentage, it goes.
Yes.
The total damage percentage
yeah,
is
yeah.
Yeah,
plus
it's
25, and then at tier 2 it's plus 42.5, and then at tier 3 it's plus 50%.
yes.
So it's not a huge gap from 2 to 3. So
Yeah.
I'll wait and see what I've got.
Yep.
So let's look at science because it's all about shields and stuff.
Yes.
Um,
I'd usually put at least 1 point in shield restoration and shield cap, so you have like a little bit more to your shield base and whatnot. So you're not your shield heals from like science team or transfer shield aren't totally anemic.
right, I've done that. And
It
then
gives it
I
a
have to see-
It gives it a base boost of 25%.
Yep.
And it looks like it follows the same amount of returns as the the energy weapons in the amount of bonus you get. I do like the fact that they label the amount you get. Yes, you see the amount of skill points you're getting plus the
Mhm.
amount of bonus you will get.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the difference between shield restoration and shield capacity.
Shield capacity is the amount of shield HP you will have.
Right.
Each
And
phase.
shield restoration is your shield healing.
So that will, I'm assuming, affects the rate at which you heal naturally, and also.
No, oh no.
No,
It
it's,
doesn't.
no, that's a different skill. That's shield regeneration, I believe.
Right. Okay. So
Yes.
this is like if I've got no shields and I pop science team.
Yep. Like I said, reading the tooltip from the thing, it says this skill increases the amount of shields restored by your outgoing shield healing abilities. Each point of shield restoration skill will increase the base amount by 0.5%.
Okay.
So this is Science Team transfer shield strength and other shield healing abilities.
Okay. I want to keep that in mind because I quite frequently find myself with very low shields, and I'm trying to remember. I think I've got a Science Team 2, so that could actually be quite a good bonus for me, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to leave that for now. I've got 1 point each in the 2 shield things.
Yep, that's a nice base. Then we have hull capacity, which is basically your hull hit points.
Mm-hmm.
And hull
and
restoration.
Okay, so it's a similar thing to the shields. It's only
Yes.
it's hull.
Yep.
And like if I had to choose between the two, like why would I want to use capacity and why would I want to use restoration?
I say they're both taking at least 1 point in because they're increasing your base values. Because it's the more hits you can take. As Bort said, a dead DPS does no DPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the amount that you have that you can absorb damage with,
Yeah.
and the amount that you can heal back up to that amount.
Okay. I'm trying to think about like common situations that I find myself in. I don't actually use engineering team very often.
Hazard emitters, since it will affect the hull heal will affect hazard emitters.
Yeah, I do use hazard emitters a lot. Mostly that's to clear plasma
Yeah.
fires.
Yes, we all
the
know.
auxiliary to structural integrity field.
Do you use that one a lot too?
No, I don't use that. I use what's my commander level? Directed energy modulation. So the only hull healing ability. Hang on. I use engineering team 2, and I use reverse shield polarity, but that's shields, isn't it?
Yep.
So that's not gonna do much.
Winters is not coming back, is he?
Yeah, it sounds like he could have had trouble in the works.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
Hope he's okay.
Let me just I'll see if he's on.
Yeah, as someone in the Twitch chat is saying, is trying to find a balance between your regen and your capacity is also good, because taking forever to regen a huge pool.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to quickly nip to Druzana and get some respecs because I have none.
Yeah.
Oops.
And I'm slowly realising the amount of times I've played about today, I've done everything completely wrong.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Speaking of respecs, remember you'll get a free one plus the reset.
Yeah,
coming
so
Tuesday.
So they're giving you the reset you have to take because you have to take it, and then you'll get one more.
Yes.
And if you were a gold member while you were leveling up, you might get a few more as
Yes.
well.
If you haven't used them in the time you've been playing, like me,
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
them hoarded from way back when I started leveling a lot of these characters 6 years ago.
Yeah, I've pretty much, that's exactly what I did, because somebody very early on in my Stowe career suggested while I was leveling up, they said just get like a month of a gold membership as you're leveling to get you up to end game. And
Yep.
you get all of your respecs and things like
Yes.
that. So I did do that. In fact, I left it on for a little while longer than that, but yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I have my
okay.
lifer, so
Jealous.
Mm.
But moving on. Right, so I just went ahead and put 1 point in each of hull capacity and restoration, just so
Yep.
we can get us on to the next.
That'll work.
yeah, that will work.
So let's start again. Let's just go back up to tactical
User
because
joined your
that's where we
channel.
started with the last one.
Yep.
So you got targeting expertise and defensive maneuvering.
Yes, these increase your accuracy and whatnot. It makes it easy. I think Bort said
Yeah, go on.
Bort said that a lot of the end-game boss mobs have bonuses to defense and accuracy, so taking a point in this could give you a little bit of a leg up, but we don't know exactly how big of a bonus the NPCs have, so...
I mean, normally you'd say that accuracy doesn't have that much of an effect.
Yeah, because you just, as you're like running like fire at will, you're just throwing out so many shots, enough of them will hit that the accuracy difference won't.
Well, look at it this way. 1% accuracy means you'll gain 1% damage, because 100% accuracy would mean you will input 100% of your maximum potential of damage.
Yeah.
There's actually a formula in the tooltip about accuracy and whatnot.
Is there?
Hang on, they put an actual math formula in the actual
Yes.
tooltip.
Yes, hover over in the improve.
That's unprecedented. I like
Amazing,
it.
isn't it?
Yes.
Welcome back, Winters.
Thanks, Orange.
Yep.
Hey, he's back.
All right, this is what the tooltip says in the accuracy. This is the second paragraph. If the attacker's accuracy is greater than the target's hit chance, then the
Target's
hit
defense.
chance is 1%. If the attacker is less than the defense, hit chance is calculated at 1 divided by 1 minus accuracy minus defense.
Mhm.
However, your hit chance may never drop below 25%. Any hit chance over 100 generates a small bonus to crit hit and crit severity.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave those for a minute, because I'm not really sure which one I would prefer, or both.
When I was doing my attack, I usually just dropped a point in this. If you're like a hull tank, I'd definitely consider taking a couple points into the defense so you're not getting hit as much.
Oh, I see what you mean. Alright, I'll go ahead and put a point in each of those. Why not? Oh, come here. Okay, so let's talk science now. So we've got control expertise and drain expertise. Now, I don't think control is going to particularly help me.
Do you use
That
abilities like Gravwell, Tractor Beam?
I do on some of my other characters, but not on my main.
Yep.
I just shoot stuff.
Yes. Control expertise is for like the hold on Gravity Well, the hold on Tractor Beam. But your fuse like scramble sensors or jam sensors, this increases that.
Uh-huh. It also looks like it has some resistance to
Yes.
Incoming things.
Yes,
So
this is.
that would be
It'll be nice,
anything
but
that holds
you,
the-
if you have like a deflector with control expertise or drain expertise, it should give you a little bit of resist.
well, and I don't find myself being needing that an awful lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
occasionally I'll get myself caught in a tractor beam.
Or get nailed by Borg tachyon beams, and your shields just evaporate anyway. Even with if you had insane amount of control expertise from what
Yeah,
I've
those
seen.
are Borg shield neutralizers.
Yeah,
There
those
you
are
go.
different. Those just you can pop your hazard team and get rid of that. That's nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna pretty much ignore control expertise, but
They do
drain
have
expertise. Oh, go on.
they do have some little fun things you can get for a skill point. They're basically like duty officer level abilities that just affect all your abilities rather than a select few.
Yeah.
We'll just take a look at control amplification. Every time you do, like, I think it's a single target hold, your target will have minus 35% all damage resistances. So
Okay.
that means that you.
If you use eddy control effects,
Yes.
then that's actually quite handy.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
and you have the improved, which gives you just. From what
More.
I've seen of the old system, taking 1 point would put you slightly behind what putting 2 points is on holodeck as of now. But putting 2 points in the now will put you ahead of what equivalent 2 points would be back on holodeck.
Okay. Okay, so let's look at drain expertise because this is the one I'm interested in. So,
Okay.
my question is, I use a plasmonic leech. Is this going to
Oh,
make
right
it?
there.
Yes. Yes, this
Or-
is the skill. If you have Plasmonic Leech, this is the one that's going to give that a little bit of a boost.
Okay. I'm definitely going to want to put a point in there. And that's drain expertise 1 and 2, and then drain infection. What's
Yes.
this now?
This is basically the same thing, but it does not affect. It will not affect the drain from. It will not proc off the drain from your leech. This is only effects on activatable abilities, not procs from attached powers like leech and other things.
Okay, but that would do something like feedback pulse would essentially have that.
Tachyon
Feedback
beam.
pulse isn't drain ability. It's
Is
I
it
think
not?
I think Tachyon beam will afflict this, but
Yep, the Tachyon beam. Yeah.
yeah, Tachyon beam, tractor beam, no, anything
I
that's a
think
drain.
feed-
Energy
feedback
siphon
pulse.
But
Yeah.
it only affects activatable
Yes.
abilities. Okay.
If you
so-
want feedback pulse, I think the exotic particle field generator you would want, which is in the captain tree, couple layers down.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna do 1 and 2 and drain expertise
Yep,
just to give me a boost.
Yep, that's basically 3 levels back on holodeck now. Or having what was it? Flow caps fully charged.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so looking at the engineering abilities, we got EPS flow and impulse expertise.
Yeah, you definitely want to take electroplasma system flow 1
Yeah.
and impulse energy shunt. This is just my opinion. I think people that are overstating the value of EPS flow, and I'm not going to get into that discussion because
I was gonna say, we could talk about that for a whole hour.
yes,
but we're
because
not going to.
because it to me right now I'm not going to say my piece on it because it'll get a lot of people angry.
There's impulse expertise 2.
Yep, that is your basically increases your base turn rate and your base speed.
It's not. I'm not that bothered by that. I'm a slow flyer, and I don't like flying fast because I get out of control very quickly. That's one of the reasons that I fly cruisers.
Yeah.
So,
I always say
and-
at least take 1 point just so you have that little bit more reaction speed. Because it's a 20%, that's a console, at least.
How does that? I'm trying to think of whether I've actually got anything that's like that on holodeck at the moment, because if I don't, I'm not bothered. I'm quite happy with.
All right, I'm just like I said, I'm just trying to.
Stop trying to pressure me into it.
I'm not.
I've actually got screenshots. Hang on, I've got screenshots of what my current skills are. So I'm gonna see if I can find them. Not that I know where they are.
Part of the screenshot folder of your snow directory.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I know that. Right. Let's have a look. So at the moment, it would be under engineering systems, wouldn't it be?
Yes.
Would that be the driver coil?
No, this would be. I think it's impulse thrusters. Driver
yeah.
coil was the skill that when it would increase your sector space speed,
Right.
and when you go to full impulse, you know how you would lose power in other systems. And that's what driver coil did. So you don't, like I've explained it as, so if you're like playing a fantasy MMO and you're riding your horse through a pack of nasties, you get knocked off your horse and stunned if you don't have the impulse shunt. But when you do, it's like you get knocked off your horse and just slowed. You can
gotcha.
still.
Okay. Well, I never put anything into impulse thrusters or anything,
I
so
want to play a
I'm gonna
fantasy MMO now.
I'm gonna skip that one.
Yeah.
But if we go back to the EPS flow, that basically is the speed at which power transfers
Yes.
between subsystems.
Yes.
Okay. Which I don't do too much of it. I used to run an aux to bat build, and I don't
Yeah.
anymore. But it also doesn't that also like.
It's just there's some hinky interaction between it, the way
Oh.
the overcap is.
Doesn't it boost the power of the emergency power
No.
abilities? No.
Nope, it does not affect emergency power to shields or whatnot anymore.
Ooh.
Yes, if you ever get confused, you can always check your, if you're in space, check your ability book by pressing P and looking at the power, and on in the information, it will always tell you what skill it affects, or what skill affects it.
And can somebody explain to me? I know we touched on it a second ago, but the full impulse energy shunt, like, who cares?
Well,
I mean,
if you're like going from like one side of ISA to the other, it gives you. It's basically. Would you rather have 30 weapon power when you get to the other side than 5, and have to spend that extra 5 seconds or so?
I guess, yeah, because it's you have to wait for everything to kind of
reset and resync.
Yeah, I'm not that bothered.
Okay.
so I'm gonna leave that. I've never noticed it going that slowly.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm high performance enough. But,
this is just my experience over the years.
However, I haven't spent my 15 points yet, so
yeah, it's if you need to spend a point, that's a good point to spend it in the impulse shunt.
Oh, I tell you what. In the interests of because we'll be here forever if we wait for me. Should we just go down to the next level, to the commander levels, and we can talk through those in theory?
Yep. Okay.
So, where are we at? So, the tactical side, we've got weapon amplification and specialization. Oh,
yes.
This is basically
this
crit
is
hit, crit
basic
chance, or crit severity.
Yeah, basically pure crit hit, crit severity. If you want them, I personally think these are bad choices, but
Oh, I just put all my skills into them.
yeah.
Why? I'd like to hear your explanation. Why do you think they're
I
bad
do not like
choices?
skilling for pure RNG improvements.
Okay.
If this was something like, hey, we instead of like crit hit, they merged the crit hit and crit severity into one and added something that changes the variance in your weapon damage. Port said there's like a 20%, there's like a plus 10 to plus or minus 10 variance every time you do damage on a power.
Yeah.
If this would shift that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but I would like to see it merge because I don't understand why you would want to choose between the two. I mean,
Yeah, but I don't think it's a choosing between the two. I think there's a balance game going on because, I mean, I don't really understand the maths behind it, but there is you can balance the two off.
Yeah,
and depending on what consoles and
there's
traits and stuff you have.
There's some
maybe
optimal
all
chasing.
The stuff you have is all crit chance. And is what you were saying before. What I was mistaking it for.
Yes, this is
The
just
other one
this is just your
confuse me.
passive base regen.
It's basically how fast your shields naturally regenerate.
Correct.
And then shield hardness.
Is how much your shields neutralize before any damage is calculated. This is just
Does that take into account like how much like okay, because this is going to sound like such a stupid question. So if you're being shot out repeatedly,
Yep.
your shields go down with the damage that you take. It goes directly into your shields. Does your shield hardness like decrease that damage at all?
Yes, it decreases the incoming damage onto the shields. Let's say if you have a hardness rating of 20,
Yeah.
and you get a hit by 100 damage, it automatically takes 20% off the top, and then it moves. That last one is just not enough. It's like basically
Icing on the cake.
yeah, it's not even on the cake. It's the stuff that's kind of stuck
The
on the pan,
sprinkles.
stuck on the pan after pulling it out of the.
Crumbs. Okay, so let's talk science then. So we've
All
got
right.
shield hardness and regen. Now, shield regen is what you were saying before. What I was mistaking it for
Yes, this is
the
just
other one. that
this
was
is
gonna
just your
confuse me.
passive base regen.
It's basically how fast your shields naturally regenerate.
Correct.
And then shield hardness.
Is how much your shields neutralize before any damage is calculated. This is just
Does that take into account like how much like okay, because this is going to sound like such a stupid question. So if you're being shot out repeatedly,
Yep.
your shields go down with the damage that you take. It goes directly into your shields. Does your shield hardness like decrease that damage at all?
Yes, it
Or-
decreases the incoming damage onto the shields. Let's say if you have a hardness rating of 20
Yeah.
and you get a hit by 100 damage, it automatically takes 20% off the top, and then it moves on from there, and the calculations between your hull heal, the bleed through value, and all that fun stuff.
Okay, fine. So it actually, putting points into shield hardness could help your shields
Yes.
go down less quickly.
Yes. So when I was trying it out, I was running with like basic shields from like level 10 to like 30, and our shields were barely even going down. So this skill is very, very powerful.
Good. I like that because I am constantly having no shields. And that obviously is not going to counteract things like the Borg
Yeah.
shield thing, but would help against pretty much everything else.
Yes, it's a very strong skill for tanking.
Okay. And is there any point to shield regeneration?
Yes, it's
That was a leading question.
because if without it, you'll be slightly behind what's on holodeck now, due to the way
Yeah.
they've redid all the calculations and whatnot.
Okay.
So taking a point in there will definitely be a good idea to bring it back up to about where holodeck is.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I got from Things Phoenix. If I'm
Okay.
if I'm going a little too fast on the questions.
That's fine. So, let's have a look at engineering at commander level. So we've got hull plating and damage control. So damage control is the same thing as
Yes.
shield regen.
Yes,
it's
this
just
is
for
your-
hull.
Yeah, this is just your basic hull heal, your hull regen.
Okay. And hull plating.
Hull plating
Is-
is damage resist.
Okay, so it's like armor.
Yes,
For
it's your
your
armor.
ship.
This is just the old like kinetic reinforcement, the old armor and kinetic stuff on Tribble, on holodeck,
Yeah.
just rolled into one. With the first one is both, then there's one for the specialized one.
Right.
So I usually just grab hull plating because it helps everybody, helps everything.
Okay, and what is ablative hull plating?
That
wait,
is-
hang on. So this one is not like... some of these, like if we go back up to the EPS flow, right, there's the level 1 and level 2 of that. And then
Yep.
there's the impulse energy shunt, which is kind of like a cousin, right?
Yes.
This one is... you've got level 1, but level 2 is both. But
The level 2
two
is
different styles.
is separated into two different skills.
Right, so kinetic damage resist or energy damage resist.
Yes.
Okay, and that's really gonna be your play style and
Yes.
and also what types of enemies you tend to come up against.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think I got that. So should we move on to Captain?
Yep. All right. Captain is for tactical. You have your hull penetration, which is just reduces your target's resist without having to like throw on attack pattern beta or getting your delta or any of those other types of debuffs.
Right.
This is just like a flat neutralization of 10 points of their resist.
Is this going to be similar or analogous to the pen mod?
Yes, this is exactly the same thing as pen.
Interesting. And then, that's
So
does that
if this
affect
gives you-
your shields is my question, or is that just the shield weakening side?
yeah, I
of it?
think shield weakening affects the shields and how much.
So if you had like loads of points in hull penetration, but it still took you ages to get through their shields,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't see much benefit from it.
Yes, probably.
Okay. I'll have to think about that one. Excuse me. So in science, we've got exotic particle generators, because now it's just
Yes.
exotic particles now.
Yes, this is basically all your space magic damage.
Right.
That's
Space
the
magic.
skill that you
It's
want.
magic.
Feedback pulse.
Feedback pulse, your gravels,
Oh, I see. Okay.
all your radiation damage type things.
Basically, all the stuff I don't use. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
probably not going to put any points in that.
Yep. Then
If
you
I
have
did, I would.
then you have
Um,
long range targeting sensors, which remember how they
ah,
redid the drop off?
Yes.
Since you're
So-
beams, you would want to take at least 1 point in it to get it back to where it was before
Right.
they normalized cannons and beam drop off.
Now this one is a new skill, isn't it?
Yes, yes it
Am
is.
I correct in
Totally
thinking
new.
that? Okay. So basically, this one's going to benefit people who maybe fly a bit further away.
Yes, this is for your backfield supporters that just hang in the
Okay.
back and don't bother getting it.
So
And
I'm
that would be
prob-
me, because that's normal where I am.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I tend to go between. I try to keep it under 5, but I'm not. Definitely not one of those like.
Up in their
up to
nose.
2 kilometers. No, I'm definitely not one of them. But I do try to keep. I fly pretty close considering I'm in a cruiser.
Yes.
So I probably would want to take a point or two on that.
Yes, you definitely would. This is definitely one of those skills.
So then we've got an engineering, offensive subsystem tuning, and
Yes, these are just
defensive-
raw increases to your base power levels.
Okay.
Flat out, no diminishing returns, no nothing. Just bam,
Okay,
4 point
so-
something.
Yeah, and offensive is engines and weapons, and defensive is auxiliary and shields.
Yep. So I definitely pick at least. I'll take both offensive and defensive
But-
tuning just
yeah.
because they're just good.
Yeah, and that's pretty good actually. Plus 4.8 on all of that, and then level 2.
Is
Oh, it
special.
splits it into exactly the
Yes.
weapons or engines.
Yep,
Or
so you'll get a
aux or
total of-
shields. Okay, that's
So if you-
interesting
Yep.
actually because
Yeah.
the way my build is balanced a while back when I switched off of Ox to Bat and whatever the heck I'm on now, I don't know if it's got a name or whether I just like it. I actually had to tune my shields down. I think I had to tune my shields down and my auxiliary up a little bit because I've got that what's that?
The amp warp cores.
The amp warp core. Yeah, and as I was playing I noticed that I wasn't getting up above whatever it is.
Yeah, the 75 or 70 in all
Yeah.
systems or whatnot.
Yeah. And in order to do that, I had to rebalance my power a little bit. But theoretically, I could go back to the way it was before and just pump up. I could use that skill to pump up the one that was a little bit deficient.
Yep.
Theoretically, if I wanted
Yeah,
to do
it's
that.
a lot.
So-
You don't have to spend so many points to do it as you do it on holodeck. It's
Cool. Okay. Right. So I guess all that's left is Admiral stuff.
yep. Admiral is where the fun, interesting stuff is.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's hit
Well-
tactical first.
All
So-
right, we have things that just flatly increase the recharge or the decrease the recharge, or I don't know, it just makes their things cool down up to 20% faster. As our
That's your
orange-
tactical. Is that
tactical
your
re-
tactical readiness.
Yep,
Oh,
that's
okay.
tactical readiness, scientific
Ooh.
readiness, and engineering readiness all do the same thing for their respective schools.
It bothers me. Can I just say it bothers me that they're not in the same position in all three.
Oh, it bothers me
Yeah.
too.
Hello, UI design. It bothers me. It should be on the right in all of them, but whatever.
Mhm.
I'll
Oh,
let
that
it slide.
science one is flipped around.
Yeah, bugs me. But
My
anyway,
OCD is not appeased.
so that's good. So
Right.
each of these readiness only applies to bridge
That color
officer
skill.
skills for that color. So
Yes.
yeah, so tactical goes for the tactical skills, science
Yep.
goes for science skills, and engineering goes for engineering skills.
Yeah,
Okay.
what I think
That's-
Orange said it's equivalent to like the ZMOC bridge officer, if you people
Right.
know who that is, or the
I
video.
did not say that. I forget who did.
I think someone did. All I know is
I know of him.
yes.
But yes, it is.
Yes, Talon's saying tactical readiness is 1 equal to 1 ZMOC. But yeah, it's a nice skill, but there is a floor to how much you can drop your skill recharge to.
Well, yeah, obviously. Okay. But what are these other ones? So in tactical, you've got coordination
Yes,
protocols.
coordination protocols is for like if you're a fighter if you're a heavy escort carrier or any of the carrier ships.
Gotcha. Which
Yep.
I don't. But theoretically, if I
If you
did.
wanted to, this increases the shield and cap, but for the fighters, but it also increases the hull cap and shield cap for your teammates by 5%.
Oh, I see. So it might, if you're somebody who plays in teams a lot.
Yes, this might be
Then
good because
even
if you
don't
have
run a
4
career.
people with you, it's basically
Yes.
giving you a 20% boost
Yeah. Okay.
to your hull capacity and shield for your defense and shield if you take all 3. So you get accuracy and base damage, shields, defense and shield or damage resist. So that's a lot of damage resist if you have 4 people with it. So
Yeah.
that's almost 20. So yeah, it can stack pretty nicely.
Well, and
Yes, it does, Sal. It says it does stack right in the tooltip up to 4 times.
Okay. And then the level 2 of this is quite interesting to me. I mean, you have to unlock that first one to get to it.
Yep.
But you've got defensive coordination, which is, similar again.
Yep,
to what's
it's
the level 1.
20% defense and damage resist for your hangers, 5 for
User in
your
your channel
additional
timed out.
teammates.
But then you've also got offensive coordination.
Yep, which is accuracy and base damage for pets and
User entered your channel.
5% base damage for your teammates.
Which, if you were somebody who flies with teammates on
Constantly,
a regular
yeah.
basis, and that can stack up to 4 times.
Yes.
Which, I don't know, is it an additive stack, or is it a +5+5?
I think it just stacks 5 times and it's 20% at 4 stacks.
Okay.
I don't think
Because-
it's any crazy diminishing returns in it.
If all of your teammates have that, that's kind of crazy.
Yes, it is.
Interesting. Okay. So, moving on to science.
Shield Mastery. This is basically whenever you get a crit hit, it just ignores the first crit hit every 20 seconds. So from anything, it could be torpedoes, it could be
Okay.
yeah.
That's interesting. I'm not. Yeah, that. I'd be interested to see other people testing that out, because on the surface, it doesn't seem like I would care that much. But I don't know. I guess I don't pay that much attention at what's crit hitting me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, probably by the time you see the crit hit, you've already healed through it or you're already dead.
Yeah. So I don't know if that one's going to be much use to me. But then what's the second tier ones?
All right, you've got shielded-
absorption.
Whenever your crit shield mastery triggers, up to 20% of incoming crit damage is applied to a shield heal. Basically, whenever you take your hit, you'll get like a shield heal for that amount.
Okay. That's pretty useful, actually. Potentially.
And next is shield reflection, which is basically you just crit hit me for 200k, I slap you back for 40k.
And that,
Yeah.
like,
Huh. Interesting. Okay, that's giving me something to chew on, because I quite like stuff that's. I mean, I don't on my fleet arbiter. I've only got lieutenant science, so I don't use feedback pulse because
Yep.
like every time I try to fly without either hazard emitters or a science team, like I just die. So those are always in there.
Yep,
so
I know
need to
that.
have yeah, I need to have at least a lieutenant commander in order to be able to use feedback pulse. But I love, in all the RPGs I play or MMOs, I always love that sort of reflect.
Yeah,
ability.
yeah. Damage reflects are always nice.
Yeah,
It's like it's the ultimate.
You don't have to do anything, do you?
Yep.
You just,
It's the
you just-
ultimate flick off to the
Yeah.
for the mob you're fighting.
Yeah, I like that. But whether I want to spend 2 points in there to get that, I'm not sure.
Yep.
We'll see. I guess it depends as well on who you're fighting, because
Exactly.
if you're, because it's a critical hit. If you're fighting somebody who does really awesome critical hits, that could actually be
Yeah.
pretty good.
Honestly, if you're moving and whatnot, you shouldn't get that many crit hits landed on you.
Yeah.
I'm glaring at all the Parkers out there that just drive me nuts in a freaking STF.
Oh, right.
Naughty Parkers.
Okay, so the final one here is under engineering.
Is
your
additional.
warp core potential.
It's basically
Ooh.
just additional power to
More power.
more power. Given it
Oh,
all.
you're supposed to. Oh.
Oh yes, from
Any of
that.
you guys that were
I'm
kids in the
smiling like an
90s?
idiot now. I love that show.
Oh yes, for your domicile upgrading.
Yes. Yes.
I'm lost.
Home improvement.
Oh,
Tim Allen.
yes. Yes.
Oh
how
come
could I
on! It's where
forget that?
Tim Allen got his start.
Yeah, I forgot about that for a second.
Yeah. So there's a tenuous link there to Star
Yep.
Trek.
Yep.
Tenuous, very tenuous, but Tim Allen,
Yep.
Galaxy Quest. Yeah.
Yep, so it's basically if you spend 2 points into it, you get an additional 5 power to all your subsystems.
Right.
And
so
then
you've
this
got-
one is if your thing is below X below 75, you get more. Gives you the additional 10 power when you're at 15. So basically, if you're a Warbird pilot and you don't have as much power, this is definitely one of the things you need to grab because it'll give you that
It'd be interesting on my Romulan character. Yeah,
that little
just give
bit
a little
of
bit of
additional
boost.
power in the subsystems that are neglected, like your Ox or your engines.
But this is for any subsystem that's set below 75,
Right.
not anything that is currently below 75.
Yes, so it goes off the base level. So you
Because I'm trying to think what my... I am not in space, so I can't think of what my... I think everything except for my weapons are always set below 75.
yeah, it just the amount of bonus you get scales from.
Yeah, interesting.
So if you,
So
the
actually,
closer you are to
yeah.
75, the less bonus you get.
Well, it's interesting that because between that and the whatever the subsystem performance up above, that's actually quite good for me because, like I said, where I was sort of rebalancing my my power to hit me up above the
The
75
threshold,
threshold for the amp. I can use some skill points to actually get me above that threshold as well.
Yep.
So, okay.
That's the
Okay,
bottom
gosh.
of the tree.
Yeah.
Now you go into the
Alright.
bars.
Yeah.
And these are
And
just...
Have they tweaked these since?
Yes, they've been
since it
tweaking
came-
these.
Okay.
Pretty much through the entire process.
Yeah, because I remember the first sort of time I saw them, I kind of thought it was a bit pointless. But I'll have to look through them again. I don't think we should go through every single one, maybe, because there's a lot there.
Yeah, it's like... I think it's every 5 points you get a choice.
Yeah.
So...
And the question is, right, so we have these ultimate abilities. Have any of you guys actually gotten to the ultimate abilities?
I tried to do some of it, but they just go against the way I play a lot of my characters. I go for a nice generalist build that fits well with all the ships I have in their collection.
Yeah. Because, wow, to get them...
You have to
would
really...
You would really have to give up a lot, wouldn't you?
Yes, you'd have to take very minimal in other places, and you'd have to play smart.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, I guess, does anybody watching have any questions about what we've just...
Covered. We still got the ground tree to go over.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Oh,
Okay. Okay,
this
let's
one
look
we
at
thought we
ground.
were done.
Ground is pretty easy. You only have 10 points to spend, and
Yeah.
4 of them will be in the bottom right cluster.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Kit performance?
Yes, I believe these, because this is where a lot of your abilities really shine as your class.
Okay, keep in mind that I don't really play very much ground. I literally, all of my buffs just have their default abilities, and I literally just go around and shooting things.
Yeah, this is just my opinion. I think these are the strongest. This is the strongest cluster. Is the ones that improve your kit.
Well, why don't we start with it actually then?
All right. This is the kit performance expert is just basically the damage output, the power of your control effects, the duration of the buffs, debuffs, the health shield of your constructs, and the magnitude of your repel knockback.
Just makes it whatever.
It just
better.
makes everything better.
Okay.
Everything better.
Okay, so if that's the first tier, who's letting off smoke bombs?
Yeah, I need to turn down my bloom. I'm going
I was
blind.
gonna say seriously,
Wasn't
I'm
me this
getting
time.
Yeah,
my,
it's
my frame rate has dropped to
Yep.
like
I know
nothing.
it smells like it, but it wasn't me this time.
oh my.
Deary me. Okay. Okay. So that's just your level 1 kit performance expert.
Yep.
What's the level 2's?
Then it splits into basically efficient readiness, so it basically cools down faster.
Okay. And then performance master is just more and better stuff.
Yes.
Okay. So it splits it into your cooldowns and how much damage
Yes.
or effectivity.
Yes, the effect of them.
Effectiveness, whatever.
User in
Yes.
your channel timed
Okay.
out.
So, what are these other 3 then?
All right. Well, then we go into your. We'll go just count clockwise. So we'll go into the shield one, which is your personal shield expert, which increases the amount of shield you have on the ground.
That's pretty straightforward.
And then it branches into effectively hardness for ground. You know how it reduces the amount of shield
User
damage your
entered
shield
your
takes
channel.
before it has to recharge.
Okay.
Then above it, you have your proficiency, which is basically the amount of damage you do with your weapons, which is just a flat 30% increase.
Yeah, I'll be putting lots of points in that. I just like to hit them really hard.
Then it branches into criticals, which basically is the whole crit severity, crit damage thing rolled into one.
Yeah, rolled into one. Like you were saying you wanted on.
On space.
Space.
Yep. But it's too late now. But yep, then it rolls into penetration, which is basically reduces their armor and whatnot.
Okay.
Next is health capacity and your ground combat armor. So the amount of your damage resist, and then it's your health regeneration.
Okay. So it's a simplified version of the tree, basically.
Yeah, like I said, there's only 10 points in ground. It's not like it's as expansive as space, because we all know this is Star Trek. We want to be in our spaceships.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just pretty much take the base levels for a lot of things here. Just I up my regen, I up my armor, and I up my base weapon.
Okay. Cool. Well, I think I need to actually go and fill in my skill trees then. So, talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Well, we do have to cover the go over the last stuff on the we can go over the strategist specialization. Or do you have any other questions on your mark?
I've been doing it as we go along, so I'm just kind of trying to figure things out.
If you have questions, just go for it, man.
Yeah, we're
Does
here
general
to talk.
help a question?
What?
Does general help a question?
Yes, we'll just ask. We'll give you a hand.
Am I wrong in completely maxing out most of the lieutenant skills?
No, those things are pretty much your base level skills. Those are stuff that's going to provide the biggest bang for your buck, because it's
Because 5
are
out
like
of
your
6
bread
of them
and
I
butter
have
skills.
maxed out. Because I don't do projectiles, so I'm not bothered with it.
yeah. I personally I use my projectiles. I love my torpedoes, so I'm going to put a point in them.
Same here, buddy.
I've maxed out shield hardness and long range sensors.
Yep. What are you flying? So just so I can.
I am in the tier 6 already.
Okay, yeah. The long range sensors would be nice. The shield hardness would be nice because your shields will hold.
I've got 2 in impulse expertise
Yep.
and some in EPS.
Yep. That works.
2 in targeting and 2 in defensive.
Yep. That's pretty decent. That, like I said, the third point is if you really want that extra oomph.
2 in crit chance and crit severity.
Yep.
And I think the rest is kind of just general. I've in the Admiral though I have maxed out the work core potentials and efficiencies and things.
Yeah, the efficient.
My power levels generally run quite low sometimes.
I forget what color shirt you are. You're an engineer.
Engineer.
Yeah, so you definitely want to go. I'd say go with the engineering efficiency, because it really syncs with your other stuff and other ship you're flying.
And I managed to get it, so I think I should be back up to 125 weapon power.
Yep.
You can check when I'm getting space.
Yep.
So thank you for that.
So yeah. Also, if you're going to go with a strategist specialization, you got to make sure you pick up the threat control node from spending at least 5 points in the tactical tree. That's
I've done that.
yep, because this is probably one of the choices that just makes or breaks the new specialization spec. Because
The way I've got it, I have 21 in engineering, 14 in science, and 11 in tactical.
yep, that's yeah. I really don't like a couple of choices on the tactical bar at the bottom.
Yeah. It's kind of geared towards hangar pets, and I don't
No.
have hangar pets, and I don't know many people that use them that I
Well,
generally play with.
I use them with my carriers. But I'm, like I say, I'm a ship hopper, so I hop to ships pretty much every couple weeks. So I gotta try to build something that works
User
kind
entered
of
your channel.
across the board.
Why is there 2 winters this year?
Because he's having internet issues, and
Emergency power at Irish broadband.
Oh, he is a strange couple of guys.
Someone go and feed the
User in your
hamsters.
channel timed out.
Yep.
They need to run the wheels a bit faster.
or just give it more Guinness.
Or less, depending. You
Yep.
feel like one of the video of the hamsters that's kind of just stuck in the wheel as it goes round, as its friend keeps jumping over it. Doing,
Yes.
Doing. Like, I have my last choice to make in the sort of the ground ones. Do I want offensive mastery or defensive mastery?
Well, it depends. Do you like being less squishy, or do you want to be more stabby?
Less squishy.
Then go with defense mastery.
There we go.
Squishy or more stabby.
Squishy. Those are the technical terms.
yes,
It
yes, it
is.
is.
I like more stabby.
I could have gone Orky and said more Daka. Then I'd be crossing franchises again.
Don't cross the
Ain't no harm in
franchises.
that.
Oh, I need to redo my traits again.
Yes, definitely make sure, like we said earlier,
There's a lot of
double check your traits after you've skill respect. That's
everything I had not to swear.
Should I be worried about the fact that as I'm going, the things that I'm choosing, I've managed to spend my first 15 points exactly evenly across the board.
well, are you going for, like I said, are you going for one of the ultimates? Then I wouldn't worry about it, because there's just a lot of the lower stuff is the strongest stuff for your builds, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
unless you're going for an optimal build or you want to spec into one of the ultimates, I don't think you can really go wrong with this
User in your channel timed out.
with this spec system or skill system.
Yeah, no, I've given up on getting to one of the ultimates.
User entered your channel.
I'm sure there's probably a build for the ultimates that makes it pretty nasty, but
You okay, Winters?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm having really bad internet problems tonight.
it's okay, man.
Yeah, it's not like we're live or anything.
Oh, holy crap, I just noticed the time. But as it's a crash test, we do have a little time to really just spend and make sure we get this info drilled into the heads of everyone.
Should I have tried to remind you? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, man. It's, like I said, it's a special episode, so we get to go over the time limit.
Alright.
Hey.
Because there's a lot, like I said, there's been a lot of really meaty changes to the game system. So any other questions out there in the field from either the audience or the confused host?
At least you said confused. I was going to call myself clueless.
No, not confused. Just I think going
Befuddled.
into it.
User in your channel
Yeah,
timed
going
out.
into it from a level 60 character
User entered
is
your channel.
very overwhelming. I think leveling into it will probably be easier.
Oh yeah,
I
leveling
think so,
easy.
yeah.
You're
Leveling
doing it a bit
easy.
at a time.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough for the people that have had their basic. Okay, someone was asking. Laura Kira is asking how does the respec work in the new system? You basically you see this retrain button skill next to your purchase button. All you do is click that. It'll bring up the captain retrain window, and you spend your respecs from there. You don't need to go back to ESD, but here's the thing: you're going to have to put all your points back in. You can't do it piecemeal like you could today. That's the only downside to the new system.
Yeah, it's all individual.
You got to just take it slow,
User
read,
in your channel timed out.
and whatnot.
User entered your channel.
Yeah, you click a skill, purchase it. Click another skill, purchase it. Try to read what they are, though. Don't make any hasty decisions. You got to be sure, because one accidental purchase and you got to do all over again.
Yep, and spend 500 Zen or a banked respec you've had for. Yeah, there's some skill planners out there.
They're not updated with the final
Yep.
setup yet, I don't think.
Yeah, it does a little bit, Sal. You just have to spend a total amount of points, not 5 points in each level to go on to the next levels. You just
User in
spend
your channel
35
timed out.
points and you have everything unlocked.
User entered your channel.
S- Alright, so what other? Let's see, let's do a quick overview for the. Do you want to do an overview of the new strategist just so it's fresh?
Sure.
Yep, it's pretty much the same since we last covered it. There's just been minor tweaks. The logistical support is basically when threatening, incoming bridge officer or captain hull healing gives you temporary HP, while not threatening 3% crit chance for 10 seconds after incoming heals.
User in your channel timed out.
So any of you guys thinking about
User
using this
entered
new
your
spec?
channel.
No.
Maybe.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely thinking of using this one because it's
As soon as I figure out which character to put it on.
oh
gonna-
yes. This one
Why? Give me, sell it to me. So
Yeah, I was about to say, give me
why-
the elevator pitch and why I should use it and what it is.
Because currently,
User in your channel
my
timed out.
primary is intelligence officer, and my secondary is pilot, and I probably am not going to move off intel.
Yep. Because this is it's a pure secondary, so it's only
Yeah. But why should I? I'm not convinced that I want to give up pilot for it.
well, you get bonus to shield capacity, so that's more heals.
And there's quite a lot of in this
User entered your
counteroffensive
channel.
business. There's quite
Yes.
a lot of reflect.
Yes, so if you take a hit while you have this, it means you get someone to hit you for 100, you slap them for 300.
Hmm.
That happens. Well, you slap their shields for 150 and you hit their hull for 150 before
Okay.
resists. And layered defense is, let's say you're flying next past the gate in ISA and it decides to shoot one of its Invisa torpedoes at you. It hits you and you thumb your nose at the gate saying, haha, you can't hit me. Or-
Okay.
Yep.
I see. That's pretty good, and this is stuff that is just passive.
Yes,
Just happens in the
yes.
background.
That's the first two tiers. Now this is where it gets meaty. Diversionary tactics. This is if you have your threatening stance active, you taunt everybody. So it basically says, "Hey, shoot me." If you're like a tanky person there. But if you don't have it running, it's like you do a massive AOE placate.
Hmm. Which is
So
interesting to me because I am very threat averse.
yes, so basically you hit that and you say nobody hit me. You can all stop hitting me now.
Hmm.
Yep. Now this one is you get attrition warfare. Whenever you hit that, you get a 20% shield regen and 20% hull heal. So basically, you start healing a little better while the people are placating.
Okay, now here's a question for you. So all those abilities really hinge on interacting with threatening stance, which is
Yes, which is what they replaced abandoned ship with.
okay. And that threatening stance is the first like big node choice in your space skills.
Well,
under-
you already the thing in the attack tree improves threatening stance. Threatening stance basically it's a toggle. It basically makes you like if you don't have it running, you're not doing any more additional threat. When you do, you start doing more threat, and you get every time you take damage, you get a chance of increasing your health.
User in your channel timed out.
And pretty much everybody's gonna have the chance to use threatening stance, aren't they? Really, because it's that
Yes.
it's that first node. It doesn't
Well,
take much.
I think whoever had abandoned ship will have threatening stance now.
Yes, but that like I said, that node is just an improvement on it, not you have. Everyone will have it. This is just a improvement of.
I see.
User entered your channel.
Yeah, then this is another thing about when you hit diversionary tactics while non-threatening, you get a 3% damage bonus for every foe within that is affected by the attrition warfare for 10 seconds, up to 15% damage bonus. So basically, if you're being coy and whatnot, trying not to get hit, you hit that, you suddenly get into another 10%, so you can launch a nasty alpha from after hitting that onto something. So it gives you a nice chance to do some spike damage and whatnot. But while threatening, it basically says you heal. Basically, it's another heal if you're threatening everybody.
User in your channel timed out.
Personally, when I've been trying it, I've been pretty damn tanky with the setup I have, and it just like, yeah. I tried soloing a max level 24 in a advanced cruiser, and it was just, yeah, I was just soaking hits. It wasn't to the end that I was starting to be in trouble.
Mm.
User entered your channel.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Oh yes, we'll do a quick. See what's new in the season 11.5, just so we can remember what's coming up. Oh yes, ship visuals. Alright, this is basically what you do. You go to your Starship tab on your here, and you just basically click and see what things you have for visuals. While I have Mako gear on, I can make it look like I have the full Nukara set instead of the Mako set. Just easy as that. And I don't think it slots them in there. You can use them on other places, on your other ships, without having it to be in that spot.
User in your channel timed out.
But yeah, you also got the new Admiralty campaign for the a stack of 4 Romulan tech upgrades, which have like, I forget what they do, but I know it's like a nice chunk of tech points and a chance of upgrade for no dilithium cost. And you get like four. You can get like 4 of them every 10 days if you're lucky on the campaign.
Mm.
Let's see. Yeah, we'll have a new featured episode, which we'll probably cover next week. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
looking forward to
Tuesday's
it.
the day, isn't it?
Yep,
It
Tuesday.
is.
Tuesday's the
Yep,
day, folks.
Tuesday.
And we'll also have. Yeah, so it'll probably be safe to emerge from the bunkers
User
on
entered your
Wednesday
channel.
after all the crazies have settled down and stopped their whining.
And all I could say is good luck on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yes, we do have it also coming, a new red alert out in part of the beta quadrant with the new Nakul. Or was
Oh,
it the
yes.
Alpha? But we probably won't see any information that until after Tuesday because those events are probably related to the new mission.
Yeah, sounds like my Tuesday and Wednesday nights are going to be pretty booked.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, any P1, the chat will probably be crazy, and the TS will probably be crazy. I'm sure a lot of us will be more than able to help you guys out as you're trying to figure things out this week. But yeah. Now we'll start closing out because it's really getting late for us.
It is, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I remind everyone to join Kenna, Mark, and Winters Thursday nights around 6 p.m. Eastern for the recording of the P1 podcast, which is
User in
usually
your channel
available
timed out.
available Monday mornings. And after it's had its magic done.
From Grandmaster Winters.
Yep.
And team.
Yep. All right. Hopefully, you'll all join us here next Saturday for a run through of Temporal Front. I'd like to thank Kenna, Mark, and Winters for joining us, and hopefully we did answer a lot of their questions for this upcoming update.
He answered
Thank
a
you
lot
for
of
having
mine.
us.
Yeah.
And mine.
Awesome.
Is Winters
Thanks for
even
having
still
me,
here?
guys.
No, he's been bouncing
don't
in
know.
and out, but I think he just finally gave up.
Oh dear.
I'm sure everything will be fine by Thursday.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, Kelly. We'll see you all next week.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Night.
Later, folks.